Hey, welcome to HVAC Animated. My name's Jeff Bennington and I'm your host. And used to be an HVAC installer. Today, I'm a territory manager for a major brand. And have I got something exciting for you? So I asked Google's OpenAI, what are the top financial mistakes that heating and cooling companies make? And you won't believe what it told me. Actually, I kind of wasn't surprised on some of it, but stay tuned because I hope you're not making any of these mistakes. And we're going to get into it in just a minute. I think you're going to like what I have for you. Hey there, welcome back to HVAC Animated. So today, let's find out what Google's OpenAI, Open Artificial Intelligence, tells us about how heating and cooling companies fail and what the top financial mistakes are that heating and cooling companies make, the things that lead to their downfall. And it's actually things I wrote about in the HVAC Millionaire Mindset book. Some of them are obvious to me, but let's just go through these top 5 things and then we'll break them down. But here's what Google's OpenAI told me. It said it's difficult to say exactly what the top 5 financial mistakes HVAC companies make, as this can vary depending on specific circumstances and business practices of the company. However, some common financial mistakes that HVAC companies make may include, and then it goes on to list 5 things. Number 1, failing to adequately track and manage expenses. Proper expense management is essential for the financial health of any business, and HVAC companies are no exception. Of course, we know this. Without adequate tracking and management of expenses, a company can quickly find itself overspending and facing financial difficulties. Folks, let's stop right there. And this is the reason why so few heating and cooling companies make it past 5 years, because of this right here. Poor tracking of their finances. A company can quickly find itself overspending and facing financial difficulties. You know why this happens? It's because someone starts a new company. Let's say, typical story. They're a technician. They think they can do it better than their boss, and they want to be their own boss, so they start a business. And they're good. They're a good technician. They're good with people, and they start getting a lot of revenue real quick. Next thing you know, they've got more money than they've ever seen in their lives. And they go out and they spend and they think, man, I deserve this. I've been working for the man all these years. And they buy a boat and they buy a truck and they buy all these extra things. And they've used all the cash flow that was meant to sustain the business. That's number 1. That's mistake number 1. Don't do it. Number 2, moving on, not pricing services and products correctly. This is it's such a frustration for established companies when they send a sales guy out there and they're bidding against other people that price so low. And these companies know this guy's bidding and he's going to put in equipment and he might not even be in business in 5 years. And this is a reality. This is no joke. This is how it is. If you're under pricing, it could spell your doom. Not pricing services and products correctly. Pricing is a crucial aspect of any business, and HVAC companies need to ensure that their prices are competitive and reflect the true cost of providing their services and products. That is a huge statement. Reflect the true cost of providing their services and products. And listen, folks, sometimes you need to educate your customers on what the true costs are. When somebody is just beating you down on price, you can't take jobs like that. You need a certain amount of revenue and you need it over and over and over for a business to even have 5 to 10% net profit at the end of the year. Failing to price services and products correctly can lead to lost revenue and financial problems. Can't tell you how many times I've seen it. We experienced it with our family's business, and then we learned and overcame and got better. And I see people make the same mistakes today. I work with 30 heating and cooling companies. Come on, somebody in that group is making mistakes, and I see it, and so does every other territory manager I work with. Moving on to number 3, not having a clear budget and financial plan. Having a clear budget and financial plan is essential for any business, as it provides a roadmap for how the company will allocate its resources and manage its finances. Without a clear plan, an HVAC company can easily overspend or miss out on potential revenue opportunities. Hey guys, we're coming up on the end of the year. It's a good time to look at what you've done over the last year or two or three and start budgeting your assumed revenue for 2023 and how you're going to use it, and break it down into the goals of how you're going to hit the net profit that you want to get. So if you look at your previous years and you hit, let's say 3% net profit, 8% net profit, 5% net profit. But if your goal is 10, start a budget and start budgeting and planning to reach those goals. Without a plan, you can fail, according to Google AI. Moving on to number 4, not keeping accurate financial records. Remember, these are the top 5 financial mistakes. So of course, not keeping accurate financial records is on the list. Accurate financial records are crucial for the success of any business, as they provide a detailed record of the company's financial transactions and allow for effective planning and decision-making. HVAC companies that do not keep accurate financial records may find it difficult to track their financial performance and make informed decisions about the future of the business. Look, guys, the average heating and cooling company profits 3 to 5% net at the end of the year. In other words, if they bring in $1 million in revenue, whoa, that's a lot of money flowing through the checking account, right? But it's only $30,000 to $50,000 in net profit at the end of the day. And if you blow that money on things and you're not tracking it, one added vehicle can put you in the negative. You get that? You could have $1 million in revenue, 5% net. You bring home $50,000. You buy a new truck for $40,000, and you're hanging on by a thread. It's really important to track those numbers. And number 5, according to Google AI, the 5th reason for heating and cooling companies to fail financially is failing to adequately plan for unexpected expenses. Unexpected expenses can arise at any time, and it's important for HVAC companies to have a plan in place to handle these unexpected costs. Failing to adequately plan for unexpected expenses can lead to financial difficulties and put the future of the business at risk. You don't just operate like you did when you had a job. You no longer function a business like you do with a paycheck. Folks, you got to plan for expenses. You got to think on a bigger scale. If you have $1 million in revenue and you have 5% of unexpected expenses, that's $50,000 cash that you need to have on hand. That's called working capital, and you need to have it ready to go. So just because you make $50,000 doesn't mean you get a $50,000 payday, right? If you've been in business for 10, 15, 20 years, you already know this. If you've made the mistakes and filed bankruptcy, you've learned and you've moved on. But there's so many heating and cooling companies that really don't get into tracking their finances, budgeting their finances, planning for unexpected expenses, and, having a good financial plan, not only for your business, but for you as an individual. So I think this is great. I think Google answered this very well. And I think even if you're an experienced heating and cooling owner, you probably have thoughts, and I'd love to hear them. I'd love to hear your comments and hear what you think. But definitely, I think Google nailed it on this. It's difficult to say. Right. It is true. It's difficult to say what the top 5 financial mistakes heating and cooling companies make because of specific circumstances and common business practices of any company. However, here are some common financial mistakes heating and cooling companies make. So, every time you get on a Facebook group chat, every time you comment on a product or on a financial service, or you're in a group that's discussing your businesses, Google's taking that information in. And it has the largest base of knowledge and collected it mixed it up, and this is the answer. I think they got it right this time. Tell me what you think in the comments. And guys, if this content was valuable to you, please hit the like button. Come on. It's just a very small free thing that you can do. It helps the Google algorithm share my videos with the rest of the world. And you never know, there might be someone who really needs to hear the content. And then subscribe and hit the little bell, the little notification bell. And that will notify you every time that I create a new video. So appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.